head off then, guys. That's where it all starts. You can actually get a bus down here as well. That's Bus Connect. 775 Netherfield, Burton Joyce. Yep, so there is a bus down here from Nottingham. It's quite a popular spot. So a stream down. Nice tree for kids to climb up. Looks like they've been climbing up. Let's go down here and have a look at the water's edge. So I believe this is an irrigation ditch in Stoke Bardolph now. There's some new builds, a lot of new builds gone up, and there's new irrigation ditches that have been dug out there because it is a floodplain predominantly. So I guess this is the old workings that they've built, because it does actually get really flooded down this area of Nottingham during the heavy rains. The engineering, the way that's been built, I don't know how many years that's been there for, but just look at the quality of workmanship there. Fantastic. There's obviously a measure here to show how deep the water is when it floods. I believe that you can see if you just look down here that there are further raised levels where people are walking. That's when the river breaches its banks. I would assume that's more defences there. Yeah. So I believe many years ago, I think it was the Saxons or the Normans, the Vikings, they used to come from Hull down the River Trent into Nottingham, because there used to be a tidal flow, obviously where the tide had come in, so there'd be a natural wave down the river and they'd go along, they'd come travelling on that, and then they'd go back out and it reversed. But now, due to a lot of the sort of weirs, etc., and other sort of man-made structures that have been put in, that there's no tidal flow anymore. But yeah, it's an interesting fact. It's interesting looking at this side of Nottingham because it seems to be like a ridge line running along here, almost like a natural divide. I don't know whether that's man-made or not, it may be, but the trees, I can see like a little sort of wooded area there, and they look sort of a few hundred years old, so maybe there's a railway line on top there, I don't know, an old track. Never really sort of looked that far into it. I'll have to check the maps out when I get back. You can actually walk across the other side of the River Trent here, but I think you have to go down through Lamley village and then there's a bridge, across the bridge, and then turn right to get onto the other side. I think just over here there's like a road leads in just down here somewhere. I've seen people pull up there with campers and stuff and park up right off the stairway for the night. But as you can see, it's like a little beach. The animals, the sheep, they seem to sort of love coming down to the water's edge over there. It's a nice place to walk your dogs as well, obviously get the feet wet. This little fence here, just designed to stop the cows. There's cows in this field. I think there's a cattle grid over here, just up with where the footpath begins. And I think this bit here is designed to stop the cows gaining access to the other side. So let's carry on. Let's go for a wander. Yep, so there's for your litter and waste and dog doo-doos. Private fishing here as well. Ashfield Angling Club, which is interesting because Ashfield's quite a way away. This is the cattle grid to stop the cows gaining access to the public side of things. Little footpaths off to the side. Let's walk off down to the side of the river. So just going to have a gentle walk today because, as I say, I've sort of damaged my little toe. It's getting better now, but it's still a bit painful. So I'm assuming these rocks have been placed here to stop erosion when the floods come. You can see where the bank's being washed away. Obviously, as far as I'm led to believe, the river's naturally sort of meander and cut away and change the path, so to speak, anyway, over hundreds of years. And it's just obviously man trying to control and retain their sort of land. This is obviously where it belongs to a farmer, I believe. I don't know where the farm is, but there are cattle here a lot of the time. You actually come down here. Don't appear to see them today. But it's funny, cows, they seem to have like a path and a course that they follow. Throughout the day they seem to move along, move around. Last time I was here was just back in early May, They were here and they were trying to reach, well, one of them was trying to reach the vegetation, the trees, but the branches were too high to get some of the fresh leaves that were growing. So that was a kind thing to do. I just plucked some down and fed him, let him sort of have what he was after, and he couldn't reach. See over there where the farmers are irrigating their fields. There's a big pump on the other side. It's over here. And just the other side of that, it's like a boundary that's built up, a built-up area, obviously to stop the flooding into the fields. That's where they're growing the crops. Quite a steep drop down there. It looks like the cows have actually been down there. It's down here, and now they get down. Surely, do they go down there? Maybe they do. Wow, brave. Yeah. Just obviously watching where I'm stepping as well, because obviously the cows are in this field, so it's also their toilet as well. Yeah, you can literally see where the cows are walking along here, and then going down to the river's edge, just here. There's a bit of driftwood. Almost looks ancient. You could imagine sort of back in the days when, before humans sort of were everywhere, animals sort of coming down here and grazing along the river's edge and taking water from the river. Obviously now it's a different story because there's plastic everywhere. Everywhere you look, plastic, plastic, plastic. And obviously the cows probably nibble on that. There's that oil drums. I don't know whether that's from the boats. Literally sort of plastic everywhere. Right here, look, on my feet, pick it up, lids, all sorts. It's interesting, there's like boreholes here. I don't know whether that's probably rats or something. Yeah. So I just had a drink down here, or had a drink on the boat and just chucked the bottle overboard. I love it when you come across things like this and you can actually see the layers that have built up over time. And this actually feels like sandstone here, and then it sort of goes to soil. You can see the veins of what's harder. I wonder where it's compact down, probably, but I would think it's deposits from the river maybe. It's slowly built it up, and as you go further down there's a course of sort of little pebbles and stones here. Yeah, interesting. It's really warm today. If it wasn't for the cows not knowing when they come down here, it'd be a nice place to come and just set up a deck chair and table, bring a picnic and some wine, a couple of beers. It's really got a nice feel to it. It's quiet as well. I wonder if there were the moles. Somebody's put a poo bag in there from a dog. Why can't they just take it home with them? It's terrible. Oh look, so over there there's a swan. That's obviously, I don't know, the boy or the girl. And maybe that's the mum over there. I think they call them cygnets, the babies. You can see just over there in the distance. Maybe this is Dad. Beautiful creatures. And even has a little waddle there with his tail. Give himself a little clean by the look of it. Yep, hello mate. Said hello, I think. Hello, yeah, you're looking good, my friend. How's the family doing? They all right? It's actually quite clear, the water here. Absolutely beautiful birds. Yeah, it's obviously, he is actually cleaning himself. I believe that they've got a gland in the beaks, from what I remember, that sort of secretes like a sort of a wax. That's probably what he's doing now. Waxing his underside to keep himself buoyant, so often getting waterlogged. If you know more about that, obviously I'm just remembering something I've seen before. If that's right, if I'd like to sort of just add a comment. Right, let's carry on. See you later, mate. Good day. see down here, it looks like a land swan. It's not even in the water. In fact, it's a long way from the water. If you can see him off in the distance there. There's a lot of people walking up and down the path or road. It's a road as well. There are cars that come down here and farmers' vehicles. I believe further down there's like a lock keeper's cottage. I believe there's a lock keeper in residence there. Actually works the locks. So maybe this one's here because maybe people are feeding him. Maybe it's just sunbathing. I suppose they don't like to be in the water all the time. Wary of people going by. Just trying to do my best not to film people on the path. Respect their privacy. Yeah, it's a lot of rubbish. As I say, we're just having a slow walk today. Sorry about the wind noise, guys. It's actually quite gusty and windy at the moment. There's a flood warning in place in Nottingham, so maybe it's a prelude to sort of storms that are coming. Doesn't look too bad at the moment if you look at the skies. Things of interest to the crows by the looks of it. What he's after. So it's sloping off now, so I'm going to have to move up onto the road and try not to film people. I know you can film people if they're out in the public, but I try to be respectful. They haven't come out to have some guy with a camera in their face, so I try to be respectful as much as I can. So I'm quite new to this. Just trying to add some content that people may be interested in. And if you do enjoy the content, and I'd really appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe. I'll be doing all kinds of sort of different videos. So yeah, see where it takes me. I did have it. On the grass, it's a bit more comfortable for when you're walking. Sort of sponges the impact of your feet hitting the ground. I find, especially the damage I've done to my little toe. I believe there's a weir further down. I'm not sure if that's pollution there, or whether that's a natural thing that forms on the other side of a weir. Doesn't look natural. Again, if you know anything about that, just let us know in the comments. Thank you. White foam on the thin white foam on the surface of the water, on the edges. So obviously further down this water's getting pumped in the fields. It's going on to crops that we're consuming. So years ago I used to fish. I think it's a nice place to fish, and if I was fishing here I'd like to be over there. Night fishing, either with a quiver tip and a leisure weight, leisuring on the bottom. The anglers will know what I'm saying. Or maybe with an luminous tip. Float fishing. Yeah, what a lovely place to fish. Right, we need to go up on the path now because again there's a fence dividing sort of where the locks are and the cows are. I'm going to go the hard, well, if it's the hard way or the easy one, I'm going to go across the cattle grid. That's looking back where we've come from. Let's carry on. Now I also believe down here there's a tree, I think some signs up, and there's a tree that's inhabited by woodpeckers. It's quite obvious when you see it. But again, it's a nice sheltered area here, sheltered by the trees. Nice canopy of cover, and there's some kind of barking area here. Obviously it's through a gate. I don't know what that's about, but if it wasn't gated and you get access, what a lovely place to come with a camper van. Nice and secluded, away from the public and houses. Oh no, there's no gate there. There's a gate further down, whether they lock it or not. Can't see any signs saying you can't come down here. Now I'm just coming towards the edge of the river where there's a really steep drop into the water. So if you do come down here with children, then obviously be careful. Just here we can see this tape. I've obviously put tape across there now for a reason. That wasn't here last time I came. So whether there's been an incident or not, I'm not sure. But I'm going to try and show you the drop, because if you drop down there, you ain't coming back out that way unless you swim. There's a bit of like a landing stage here, down some steps here, with some ladders here. And I'll follow the ladders go down. I'm just going to put my strap on my camera on my wrist, so I don't want to drop it into there. And let's go and see what we can see. So yeah, it's quite a drop down. I'm not sure, I can't quite see. I'll hold the camera out as far as I can. how far those ladders go down. Well, I can see. We do go down to the water's edge. Yeah, not a good place to fall in. Everywhere you look up in the river, there's bits of plastic and stuff floating down. There seems to be sort of bits and bobs washed up, you can see through the trees on the riverbank. Obviously a life buoy here. Just see if there's anything in it. Yep. So there is a life buoy if somebody does fall in, which is handy. So there's sections here where you can anchor up in your boat. So this is look approach mooring only, no overnight mooring. Well, that's a shame, because it would be a really nice place to pull up for the night. So there's no sort of dwellings or houses around here, just a lockkeeper's cottage. I wonder what this these big sort of RSJs are good for. Again, some serious engineering going on here. You can see where things started to deteriorate over time. I'm sure again nature will take it back. Oh, looks like they're opening the gates, unless I'm imagining things. So that's just started. Yeah, that water's just started running. So let's go and have a look. See if anything comes through. There's a red light on over this side. You see traffic from this side across the road. Just swapping hands. Let's see if anything comes through here. Is there a boat coming through, lady? Just going off on the other side. So I don't know whether this is, I'm lowering the water, letting it out. Just got my partner to check that out. Yeah? Well, she says it looks like there's a boat on top of the locks. So obviously they let the water out, so it lowers down to this level that we're on this side. And once that's at the same level, they can open those gates. And I do believe there's a lockkeeper here, stationed here. I don't know if he's here all the time. The water seems to be calming down on this side now. see here it's like a junction, that's why we're waiting. So just round this corner here, I think there's a weir you can hear. You can see actually the bubbles on top of the water. You can see on the concrete wall opposite actually there's cracks appeared. I wonder how long it's going to be before that needs some sort of attention. And there's gaps every now and again in the wall. I know concrete expands and contracts when it's hotter and colder. I've actually laid cables in the ground for CCTV, and we've had to go back and replace the cables where we've not taken into account the width of the groove that we've dropped it in, and it's crushed the cable in the summer when it's heated up with concrete. So yeah, so whether there are expansion gaps or not, I'm not sure. Can't really see from this angle, but we'll have a look in a minute. They're actually capped on top. I think that's for safety reasons. It's like a little shelf. Oh, here we go. So the gates are opening now. There's nothing there. So maybe they've just opened them up for something coming up this way. I'm just going to step back and see if this light's gone green now. Yeah, this light's green. So it looks like they've just been put in the status for traffic coming this way now, uphill. Let's go up the steps. This is obviously why the locks are in place, because as you can see the ground rises quite a bit. Steps up. Little information board here on the wildlife. Let me look at that. See if we can go and no authorised access. Is it alright if I come up, guys, and just film?
Oh yeah.
Hi, how you doing?
Who are you anyway?
It's a new channel that started, Viz Life TV. Okay. So I'm just doing a couple of videos, just walking and stuff. Okay. Nice little tracks for people to go. It's all good stuff, nothing suspicious.
Yeah.
I actually work for a company, radio communications company.
Okay.
So
are you filming at the moment?
It's filming at the moment, guys, if that's alright now. Are you employed here then, or do you volunteer?
Volunteers.
Volunteers, yeah. Is there always somebody based down here to open the gates?
If you're filming me, I should have this on.
I'll cut that bit out.
Thank you.
Yeah, you
Get
all.
me in trouble.
So you volunteers? There always somebody here, day and night,
not
or?
Always. It depends on the volunteers and availability, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the keepers are volunteers. So.
I've just stood the other side because I could see the water was being let out, expecting a boat to appear, and obviously I was disappointed.
Sorry, there's nothing much moving, but there is a boat coming up from Gunthorpe.
Do you get busy periods?
Theoretically, yes.
Yeah. I've actually watched a guy, I don't know if you saw it, that he sort of went in a canoe along the River Trent right down to the sea. Have you seen him? And he sort of was saying that in London they have to stop certain areas flooding. So these guys, the lock keepers there, are volunteers again like yourself.
Yeah.
And they have to sort of monitor the water levels and let the water out if it's getting higher in certain areas.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you do a similar thing here?
Well, I mean, you keep an eye on what's going on in the river, and at the moment water levels are very low in the river because there's not been enough rain.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Well,
if you see the markings on the wall there,
yeah,
the dark area is from the lock's pool, that's where it comes up to. Where the moss starts, that's the normal river level. So what we're getting, about 2 or 3 feet down on what it should be normally.
So further down, I've noticed there's some cracks in that wall there. Is that something that needs maintenance?
If you were 100 years old, you'd probably have a few cracks in you. Yeah?
Is that how old it is, 100 years? I'll tell you something, they don't make things like they used to, do they?
Well, I mean, history of it, these were all dug out by hand in 1925, 26.
1925.
So it was all basically veterans from World War One.
Yeah.
Who were quite good at digging, but they dig it all out by hand. There was no mechanical means other than a shovel.
I've looked back further into the River Trent up to Hull, and you can find things on the internet saying that the Vikings used to come on the tidal flows.
Yeah.
When there were all the man-made obstacles now that stop the tidal flow.
Yeah.
It's gone, hasn't it now?
Yeah.
There's no tidal flow. But they used to come right down into Nottingham. Did you know that?
Seems unlikely, but you know, I'm prepared to believe it. But
yeah,
there would still have been, you know, the weir that we got over there. I mean, that's been built, but there must have been something there, sort of rapids or something.
Yeah.
So it would have all been difficult to get all the way up.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you look at the height difference between the Trent there and the Trent there. So if a boat's coming up, being rowed or sailed.
So you're allowed to come through if you're rowing?
No.
Right.
No, I'm talking about Vikings, you know. So.
Oh, yeah. No, I did see that guy that went through the locks in London in his rowing boat. But he had to ask permission.
Well, we letting people down.
Yeah.
It's relatively calm process.
Yeah.
But the water is very turbulent when you're filling it back up again. So a small boat will be considered.
What does it cost to have a boat on the river? Is it like an annual fee? You seem to be able to get them cheap enough online. You've got the cost of the boat itself. Yeah.
And then you've got to decide what level you want to boat at. You know, there are people who are continuous cruisers, and they get the cheapest license because they keep moving on. The longest they stay anywhere is 14 days.
What's the cheapest license?
That is the cheapest one. What it is in cost, I don't know at the moment.
You don't know.
And then you've got a river license, which is the next one up in tariff, and then you've got river and canal license.
I would assume as part of that license as well, you have to follow certain sort of rules and procedures.
There is an expectation that all boaters follow certain rules and procedures, you know.
Yeah.
There is an expectation that they keep to a speed limit on the.
It's nice to see that you follow the rules and you've got all your safety gear on.
It's part of what we have to do, you know, because generally I'm here on my own, so
Yeah.
as a lone working procedure, having this on, you know, and when I'm sat in there and it's hot, that's why I had it off. Yeah.
Yeah. It's when you're inside you take it off, obviously. Yeah.
And you're in touch with the locks on either side of you,
Yeah.
so you operate a buddy system.
Okay.
So that's again for safety.
You don't use man-down radios or anything like that then?
Well, we've got VHF radio
Yeah.
and the ubiquitous mobile.
Yeah. See, I work for a company called Radcom. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I've seen the name, but I
It's
don't.
on Westdale Lane in
Yeah.
Nottingham. But we mainly do sort of radios for the local authorities and
Yeah.
businesses and schools and things like that.
Yeah.
UHF. I know you're on VHF. We get people coming in asking us for.
Well, we're on
Can
VHF
do.
channel 74.
Yeah.
It's so any boats that have got that, they've got VHF, will communicate via that.
Yeah.
But we give out our mobile phone number to all boaters if they need it, so that they can phone ahead and say, just left Gunthorpe Lock, I'm on my way up to you, you know.
Yeah.
And then you
So
can
I see you've got a Clinier up there. That's been up a few years by the looks of it.
I imagine
You got a
probably
good
has,
range?
yeah. Hey?
You got a good range on it?
Well, interestingly, Gunthorpe, which is just down the river, they can't receive from us.
This way.
Yeah.
It's probably to do with the trees there. I bet when it's
Yeah.
in the winter time you get a better.
No,
Sort of
we're not
transit.
here in the winter.
You're not here. You would get a better
Yeah.
reception because the leaves block the
But
signals.
then I can get through to home. Very easily.
Yeah.
Hazelford Lock, which is the next block down from Gunthorpe, I can hear right way up on the tidal Trent what's going on, you know,
Yeah.
so really good range there.
Yeah.
You know.
Excellent.
And I can hear from Hazelford, I can hear Holme Lock as well, you know, so it's
Yeah.
obviously in a sweet spot for signal.
Certain areas, yeah.
Yeah.
They bounce around the radio waves
Yeah,
and choose where they want to go
yeah.
according to nature
Yeah.
and what's in the way. But yeah. Well, thanks for your time.
Not a
So
problem.
I'm Terry. Nice
Hi,
talking to
Terry,
you guys.
I'm John. Yeah.
Hi, John.
Duncan, hiya.
Keep up the good work, yeah.
Oh, we will. Yeah.
And I say it's like a channel called Viz Life TV.
Okay.
Viz is in VIZZ
Okay.
Life TV. So
Okay.
it's a new channel. I've only just started it.
Whether
if you do-
Jane will watch it or not is another matter.
So if you're doing a look, but well done. Keep up the good work, chaps.
Cheers.
See you later. Bye bye. Layla. Right, that was very interesting. Nice chaps there, doing an important job. And as I say, they're quiet at the moment, which is the weekend, which you'd think there'd be a lot more boats there, especially with the weather being nice. But quite interesting what they had to tell us there. Yeah, and I've noticed on eBay you can actually pick up some nice river cruisers for just a few £1,000 with sort of toilets in, like chemical toilets, little cooking areas, and a seating area that can double up as if you want to have a little kip as well, and a couple of seats up on the deck. Yeah, so yeah, if you are interested in getting a boat, say he told me there was sort of different licenses, but obviously you'd need to look into that. If anybody that's watching this video does know the cost of the licence and anything about it, it'd be interesting if you could sort of put some information in the comments for anybody that may be interested in getting themselves a little boat and cruising up and down the river. Very pleasant way to spend the day or even the weekend. So I'm just going to walk down a bit further, and this is obviously the lock keeper's cottage just here. A little seating area, some tables. Nice little place to have some sandwiches if you brought them with you. Oh, they've even got a bowl here for the dogs. Not sure how clean that water is, but yeah, dog water. Don't know if these are toilets. No. Ah, there are toilets here. So we've got some toilets. And this facility has been provided and maintained for your comfort and convenience. Please do leave it as you would wish to find it. Place used towels in the bin. Please do not place used towels down the toilet. Empty chemical toilets here. Put general refuge in the bin. Thank you. And there's a disabled toilet here. Ladies and gents toilet. Little wooded area at the back here. So if the disabled toilet's open, maybe you have to get a key for that. That's locked. Oh, that's useful. All locked up, and people have decided, I don't know if you can see that, people have decided to dump their rubbish here, and there's what looks like toilet paper, a dog poo bag, drinks container. I don't know, it's a shame that people don't respect these kind of areas. It's a shame the toilets are locked. Not that I need the toilets, but maybe I have to get a key, I'm not sure. So again, here there's some information. Welcome to your local river. Did you know the more time you spend by the water, the happier and healthier you can feel? We're the charity looking after 2,000 miles of canals and rivers, so everyone has somewhere local to relax and recharge. Join thousands of people already reading our newsletter. So that's the Canal and River Trust. Looks like they've got an app you can download. Get all the information that you wish to receive on that. So take extra care when passing. Pedestrians have priority. Cyclists must slow down for others. Give a wide berth to moored boats. There's an information board over here. I'll probably take a screenshot of that, so if anybody wants to read through that, you can do at your leisure. And off here there's some little trails into the woods. I don't actually know where that goes, but maybe another day I'll come back and have a look. So I've damaged my toe at the moment, so I'm not going to walk too far. And here there's an audio unit. Looks like it's wound up by hand. To operate the audio unit, turn the handle clockwise to hear about the work of the volunteers at Stoke Woods. So this is Stoke Woods. After a short silence, the audio will start, and there's different settings you can put it onto to select your audio.
Please turn me till the message plays.
Hello. I'm a conservation volunteer with BTCV. I've been doing conservation work at Stoke Woods for a couple of years now. It's a great site, particularly being next to the river, as there's always something going on. We work in small groups following the management plan that's been drawn up for the site. We've been trained how to use tools correctly and safely, and we're given protective clothing to wear, including hard hats and thick gloves. I've learnt a lot of new skills working here, including coppicing and making dead hedges. I've also learnt an awful lot about wildlife too. We carry out most of the work between October and March to avoid the bird breeding season. I like all animals, but it's great to watch the tree creepers scampering up the trunks and to hear the woodpeckers drilling into the rotten trees. You'll see some of the places where we've been working when you walk along the towpath. We've cut back overhanging branches and opened up grassy areas to make glades where wildflowers have been planted. As you follow the path through the woods, you'll notice the habitat piles we've made to encourage insects and hedgehogs, and you'll also see bat and bird boxes in the trees. Nothing goes to waste in the woods. The footpaths have been laid with chippings from some of the trees we've felled. So enjoy your walk and look out for the tree creepers.
What a very pleasant sounding lady. Let's try number 2.
Please turn me till the message plays.
Hello, I'm a conservation volunteer with BTCV. I've been doing conservation work at Stoke Woods for a couple of years now. It's a great site, particularly being next to the river, as there's always something going on. We work in small groups following the management.
That sounds like the same message, so I'm not going to go through that again. But there are different setting positions on that dial, so whether they can put more messages on.
I've learned a lot of new skills collecting here, including coppicing and making dead hedges. I've also learned an awful lot about wildlife too. We carry out most of the work between October and March.
Right.
To avoid bird disease.
I'm just going to pause the video here for a second because I'm going to sit down, have a drink of water, and then I'm going to head on back. So, thank you guys for tuning in today. And if you have enjoyed the video, then say it's a new channel. We'll be adding more content. It's all going to be along these kind of lines, sort of pleasant walks in and around Nottinghamshire. And I'll leave you with this outro shot. Thank you very much again. Thanks for your time. Thanks for watching. And please, if you have enjoyed, like and subscribe. Catch you later, guys, and thank you for tuning in. Appreciate your time.